Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. Hope y'all are doing well. This was actually supposed to be a part 2 about chakras. We were gonna go in a little bit more depth about what the chakras mean spiritually. Well, the 7 major chakras. Not sure if you listened yesterday, but we discussed how there's more than 7 chakras and just kind of skate over what they mean, right? Like surface level stuff. Then it occurred to me that yesterday was the height or the peak of the Lionsgate portal. Now, the portal is at its peak on August 8th, right? But it actually starts somewhere around July 26th or the 28th and ends around August 12th sometime. What this means is that during this time period, right, it is believed that this is a major opening or a portal for your manifestations and your seeds to be planted, right? Or your intentions to be set. So, this portal is an alignment between Earth, the Sirius star, and Orion's belt. It happens every year. And again, this is a portal that's been formed between these different celestial bodies, right? We know what the Earth is. We know Sirius is the brightest shining star, and we know what Orion's belt is, right? That's where we get our zodiac from. But a lot of people don't pay attention to the 7 planets that are actually in retrograde during this time also. Now, the retrograde is said to be an optical illusion, but it's basically when a planet appears to move in backward motion. So these planets are Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Uranus, and Jupiter. They don't all happen all at once, but they do simultaneously tend to go into retrograde. So Pluto is in retrograde from May into October, Saturn from June to November. I'm not giving you the exact dates. I'm just giving you a roundabout because I want to move on. Neptune is from June to December, and I think it's important to note that Neptune goes into the sun's orbit every 165 years. Venus goes into retrograde every 18 months for 40 days, and we know about Mercury, right? Every 88 days. It's going into retrograde. I forget for how many days. We can look all of this up. And for Uranus from August to January, and Jupiter from September to December. Jupiter actually went into retrograde twice this year, and this is every 12 years, right? Now, if I called off a planet that's associated with your sign, obviously you are going to be affected. So this is Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. If I called your sign, that means that your planet has moved into retrograde. Now, we can focus on 2 things. Either the bad qualities that a sign is associated with, right? Or we can focus on the positive or the good things associated with those planets that you can incorporate into your lifestyle or benefit from, because those things are being highlighted at this time. So if you want to think of retrograde, just think of the retrograde as holding up a mirror, right? Holding it up to the past, and the planet in retrograde determining the reflection of what you see in that mirror, and the houses that those planets visit while in retrograde being the way you determine how you respond to what it is that you're seeing in that image, if that makes sense to you at all. Okay, so again, a lot of people believe that this retrograde is just on the 8th. No, there's a time frame from the end of July, the last week of July, into the middle of the second week of August. This is a time where you want to write down things, start working on the things that you know are not going to help you prevail in life. Your deepest desires, whether they're dark or light, anything that has something to do with your past or your future. Okay, now you want to mainly focus on your moon and your rising, not so much your sun sign, your descendant also, because your descendant is your past, and those are energies that need to be cleared out and worked on in order for you to step into your rising, which is the energy that you need to be stepping into for your future and your next life. Your descendant is from your past life. It's the energy you came in with, right? Now, I think it's also important for us to note and pay attention to the things that we feel, we're struggling with or dealing with. Now, let's take a look at the things we deal with inwardly and outwardly. Okay? And I think it's important also to focus on this time being a major time period for spells, confusion, and the past, to be like highlighted. Remember, things going in retrograde are things going backward. Is your spirit going into energies backwardly? Okay? It's not really a progressive time unless you set your intentions on the things that you know need to be changed or just overall need intention. Okay? Now, these portals increase your spiritual experience and senses overall. So if you are aligned with your spiritual purpose, you're probably more than likely going to reap the positive benefits. But if you're not even thinking about the things that need to be addressed, the things you need to let go of, the things that are not even associated with your highest self, you're probably going to have a more worse time. Now, Scorpio is going to be in Capricorn during this retrograde. Pluto is in Capricorn, Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces, Venus is in Leo, Mercury is going to be in Scorpio, Uranus is going to be in Aries, and Jupiter is going to be in Taurus, right? These retrograde activities are going to be going on until December. They all have different periods where they're going to resume back to their proposed positions, right? But I think it's important to note and understand that these retrogrades are going to be tugging and hinting on things that are going to allow you to propel forward. So I personally, I drink water, I write a lot, and I fast. And those things obviously lead me to prayer. We all have different things and qualities we want to work on. Depending on your chart, it's going to determine what's being highlighted, and your personal experiences and your past traumas are also going to determine what it is you need to focus on and pay attention to, right? All of us have our own individual understandings of what a retrograde may even mean, right? And that's going to also determine how you go about navigating through this portal. Remember, this portal happens every year for a period of a few weeks. So you want to ask yourself, what do I really want? Focus on that now. And it's so funny because now I understand God is so intentional. I understand why he had me go into the chakras first, because these areas, right, as we know, are entry points. They're portals. We talked about this yesterday. So we have to really think about this, right? We are in portals, within portals, within portals. So what do I mean? We are portals ourselves. We're walking portals, right? And then the overall vortex we just went into when 2020 had began, right? The end of 19. And then we have this Lion Gates portal. So these are a bunch of portals opening. You have to understand that they lead somewhere. Not physically, spiritually. So where are you trying to go, right? Within your spiritual journey. Where are you trying to get away from? So those portals that just closed, you have to understand we can't go back to them, right? We can only understand the residual effects during this retrograde. The only thing we can do is propel forward. So I think the main things we need to understand is that during this time, we are all master manifestors. During this time, 7 planets are in retrograde, and those planets are associated with houses and different energies. And they're all going to be subjective, right, for each of us. But the full and main takeaway from this is to understand that the energy we're in is going to be shed, because we're here making new energy, and then we're going to be closing that out to start seeing those things manifest. If you are on the up and up, now if you are on the lower end of energies, then you are probably working spells and trying to plant your own little demonic seeds. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, understand that this time period only lasts for a certain while. So if you feel that certain spells are being thrown at you, then you need to understand that this time is a really special and important time, and people who are attacking you spiritually are using this time to do so even the more. So you might want to enhance your spiritual practices as well. I'm not neutral in this. I'm with the creator. I'm with the highest of all highs, king of all kings. I don't do magic. I don't indulge in anything to attack people. I only engage in things that involve in building up. Okay? So before we end this, I just wanted to make sure we had a really good understanding of the time that we're in, the timeline that we're on, and we're going to be moving toward the advancement of our spirits, of our souls' journeys, and that this thing only comes around once a year, and we can really use this time to benefit as a way to manifest and start propelling forward into new energies. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I do hope you guys are enjoying the last days of summer. I hope y'all are resting well, drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. Okay? More than likely we are going to be resuming to the part 2, unless something else comes up. The part 2 of the chakras, just going into that a little more, and how we can navigate through this portal, right, by working on our chakras. I guess that's what we'll focus on tomorrow, and then we're going to probably resume back to the periodic table. I don't know, but I do know that I love y'all, and I hope y'all are well. Take care.